Hello everyone, in this video we're going to be looking at how to deal with algebraic fractions, whether it's simplifying algebraic fractions or solving algebraic fractions. And you can see on the screen on the left here we've got a selection of questions, all of which are the kind of things that you could be asked. So I'm going to pick one at random and let's just have a look at it. So let's look at, say for example, I'm just going to pick 2g. So 2g says we've got to express as simply as possible. So we've got here 10x minus 10 over 5x add 15, and that is going to be divided by 4 minus 3x minus x squared, all divided by x squared add 7x add 12. Okay. Right, so first of all, I think what we need to do is try and factorise everything as much as we possibly can in the numerator and the denominator of both sides. So I could take out, just try to get myself focused, there we go. I could take out a factor of 10 in the numerator here. So when I take out a factor of 10 in the numerator, that's going to go to 10, open bracket, x minus 1. Here in the denominator, I could take out a factor of 5. So that's going to go to x add 3 there in the denominator. Now, the next thing that I need to think about is the fact that we have a divide here. So I can change that into a multiply and I can flip the fraction over here. So basically I've changed the divide into a times and I've taken the reciprocal of the fraction over here on the right hand side. Okay, so we factorise the left hand side, we've flipped the fraction and we've changed the sign into a times. Now it's time to factorise the right hand side. So we're looking for two numbers that times together to make 12 but add together to make 7. So that's going to be 4 and 3. So that's going to go to x add 4 and x add 3, like so. Now the denominator, what we're going to do with the denominator on the right hand side, I don't like dealing with a quadratic when there's a minus in front. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out a factor of minus 1. And I'm going to write it as minus x squared plus 3x minus 4. So just by taking out that factor of minus 1, that's just kind of made it easier for me to think about. So now I'm thinking two numbers that times together to make minus 4, but add together to make plus 3. So that is going to be plus 4 and minus 1. So that denominator, so we've got a minus there, and that is going to go to x plus 4, and it is going to go to x minus 1. Now let's double check. Those two numbers times together to make minus 4, and they add together to make minus 3. So we're in a good position now. The next stage in this one is now to do some cancelling out. Okay, and remember, we're okay to do cancelling when we have a multiplication symbol here. So there's absolutely no problem doing cancelling when it's all like times together. So let's cancel some things out. What have we got? An x minus 1, an x minus 1, an x add 3, an x add 3, an x add 4, an x add 4. That's all looking really good. Which just leaves us with 10 divided by 5, which is 2, and a minus. So this has all simplified down to 2 over minus 1. And 2 over minus 1 is the same as minus 2. So there we go. That is the first one done. That was 2g. Right, let's have a look at another one. Let's look at 2h. Has got a little bit more going on. So 2h. Gosh, yeah, this one looks quite complicated, doesn't it? So 2h. Express as simply as possible. So we have a cubed minus 3a squared over 8a squared minus 4a divided by a squared minus 9 over 2a squared plus 5a minus 3. Now there's a few things going on with this one. Where shall we start? Let's start off with this top right hand element here. This is the difference of two squares. You get used to spotting that after a little bit of practice. So that one is going to factorise into a minus 3 and a plus 3. So that's our difference of two squares there. Now this one here is interesting. There's lots of ways that you can do this. You could do this by inspection to factorise this. You could use the quadratic formula. If you're doing IGCSE, you could in principle just use your calculator to help you factorise it and reverse engineer the brackets. But there's a nice little method I'm just going to show you for factorising a quadratic where there's a number in front of the x squared that always works. I like this little method. Some people don't, but I do. So here's what you do. You basically say you times the first number by the last number. Okay, so you do 2 times by minus 3. So that gives you minus 6. So then you say, I'm looking for two numbers that are going to times together to give me minus 6, but are going to add together to give me positive 5. And you think about what those two numbers could be. So we can see that that is going to be positive 6 and minus 1. Okay, so those two numbers would times together to make minus 6, but they would add together to make plus 5. So then you split the middle term into 6a in this case and minus a. So in other words, you split that middle term into this factor pair. And interestingly, it doesn't matter which way round you split it. Okay, so it's not incorrect if you'd have put the 6a there and the minus a there. You would still end up getting the right answer, but by a different route. So we've got here, drop down the 2a squared, drop down the minus 3. And then now we factorise these two and we factorise these two. So I can take out a factor of a from the first one, leaving a minus a squared, leaving 2a minus 1 when I take out a factor of a from that one. I'm going to take out a factor of 3 from this one, so that will be plus 3, and that will leave me with 2a minus 1. Now, you know that this is correct if these two brackets match each other, and they do. They both say 2a minus 1, so that is correct. And then whatever's written in front is the other bracket. So that means that, because we've got a add 3 is the other bracket. So that factorises into a add 3 and 2a minus 1. I really like that as a little method for factorising quadratics that have a non-linear coefficient. Okay, let's look at this top one up here. What's this one going to go to? I think I'm just going to take a squared out of that one, which is going to give me a minus 3. That's a nice one. And then down here, what we're going to take out of this one, I think we can take out 4a from this one, and that just leaves us with a minus 1 there when we take out a factor of 4a. Okay, let's pull all that together and rewrite our fraction with all the various elements factorised. So the top left is a squared over a minus 3. So that's that one done. That one done. This one is 4a times by a minus 1. Now, I'm going to change that divide into a multiplication, and I'm going to take the reciprocal of this fraction. So this difference of two squares term will now be in the denominator. So that's a minus 3 times by a plus 3. So that's that one done. And then this one we said is factorised into a plus 3 and 2a minus 1. Okay, that's great. So everything is now factorised, and it's time to begin doing some cancellation insofar as we can. So let's do that now. Right, factorising this one up here, when we took out the factor of 4, that should have been a 2a there. So that's 2a minus 1, and then that one there is 2a minus 1. Okay, so now we are all good to go, and it's ready time to start cancelling some things out. So let's have a look at that then. So what can we cancel out? We have got 2a minus 1 and 2a minus 1. They're going to cancel. We've got a add 3 and a add 3. We've got a minus 3 and a minus 3. So now we've boiled it down to a squared over 4a. So an a can cancel, and that whole thing is factorised down to cancelled down to a over 4. And a over 4 is our answer for 2h rather. So that's a couple of simplifying ones, okay? Now let's look at expressing as a single fraction, okay? Let's think about how we're going to do that. And where shall we start? So yeah, we'll start off relatively straightforward. Let's do 3b, just as a nice introduction. So we have 2x over x minus 5, and we've got minus 1 over x plus 3. Now, this is just exactly the same as when you're combining regular fractions. So over here, look, if we think, let's imagine we had a third and we wanted to take away a quarter. I think, hopefully, we're familiar with the idea that numerically, what we would do here is multiply the numerator and denominator of that one by 4, and the numerator and denominator of the other one by 3. And that would give us 4/12 take away 3/12. So our answer would be 1/12. Now that's what we do with numbers, and sometimes in algebra it can be helpful to go back and think, what do we do with numbers? So we're going to do the exact same thing that we do with numbers, but we're going to do it with algebra over here. So we're going to multiply the numerator and the denominator by x add 3, because that's the denominator over here. So x add 3. And we're going to multiply the numerator and denominator of this other one by x minus 5. So that is x minus 5, like so. Okay, so what does that give us? That gives us 2x, open bracket, x add 3 over x add 3 times by x minus 5, minus x minus 5 over x add 3 times by x minus 5. So we have a common denominator now. So when we've got a common denominator, we can combine the fractions. So let's now combine them. So we have 2x, open bracket, x add 3, minus x minus 5 over x add 3 times by x minus 5. Now, the thing I would say here is this is one of the areas where students commonly make a mistake right now. Because notice, when I've brought this together into a single fraction, I've left it inside the bracket. And I've done that for a reason. The reason is because there's a minus here, if I'd have just combined that whole thing as a fraction without the minus, the common error is that people would get the wrong sign here. Because now, when I remove that bracket, because there's a minus in front, it's actually going to go to minus x plus 5 there. Okay? And that is where people often, very, very often make a mistake. So be super careful about that. When you're combining fractions together and there's a minus, you do have to be very careful. Let's expand this bracket now then. So that's going to go to 2x squared, and that's going to go to 2 times 3 is going to be 6x, like that. Okay, so we have x add 3, and we have x minus 5. Let's collect like terms. So we've got 2x squared. 6x take away x is plus 5x, and then we have here plus 5 on the end. Okay, so we have x add 3 like that, and we have x minus 5. Okay, so that's so far so good. Now technically at this stage you do have to be careful, and you have to think about, is it the case that this numerator is going to further factorise in order to give you something that would cancel out with these denominators down here? Sometimes they do that if they're feeling super tricky. And let's have a look and think about that. If I was to try and factorise this one, I would do the 2 times the 5 would give me 10. And then I would be saying I'm looking for two numbers that multiply together to give me 10, but add together to give me 5. And I think about my factor pairs of 10, it's either 10 and 1 or 5 and 2. And you can see that neither of those combinations are going to add together to give me the 5 in the middle. So it doesn't look like it's going to factorise. So therefore I can leave the answer in that format there. Okay, and that is that one done. Okay, let's do one more of these expressing as a single fraction, and then I think that will be enough for the first video on algebraic fractions. Right, next one. Let's do one. What's a good one? I'd like to do one that's got an intriguing bit in. Let's have a look at one that's combining a single fraction. I think let's do question express as a single fraction. Let's do I, because it's 3i, because it looks the most complicated one. Okay, so 3i. Okay, so we've got 5t add 12 over 2t squared plus 7t plus 3 minus 4 over 2t add 1. Okay, so let's think about it. First things first, let's factorise whatever we can. Let's factorise this denominator here. So I'm going to go 2 times 3 is going to be 6. So I'm looking for two numbers that times together to make 6, but add together to make 7. So that is going to be 6 and 1, because 6 times 1 is 6 and 6 add 1 is 7. So I'm going to split that middle term into 6t and 1t, like that. Drop down the 2t squared, drop down the plus 3, factorise the first 2, take a factor of t out of that, leaving me with 2t add 1. Take a factor of 3 out of this one, leaving me with 2t add 1. Those two brackets match, so what's written in front is the other bracket, so t add 3 times by 2t add 1. Okay, so that's that one dealt with. What have we got here? 5t add 12. There's not really a lot we can do with 5t add 12, so perhaps we ought to leave that one as it is. What have we got here? 4, can't really do anything with that one. And 2t add 1, there's not really a lot that I can do with that. So let's see what we've got so far. So we've boiled it down to 5t add 12 over t add 3 times by 2t add 1 minus 4 over 2t add 1. So now we can look at our fractions and we can think, right, how are we going to combine these now into a single fraction? So we already got a 2t add 1 and a 2t add 1. This one on the right here is missing the t add 3. So I'm going to multiply the numerator and the denominator of this one by t add 3, because that's what it's missing, the t add 3. Okay, so that's going to give me 5t add 12 minus 4 open brackets t add 3, and now it can be all over a common denominator of t add 3 times by 2t add 1, like so. So that's all good. Remember, I've left this in brackets, especially because there's a minus here. Now let's remove the brackets. So I've now got 5t add 12 minus 4t minus 12 all over t add 3 times by 2t add 1. Let's simplify this now. So 5t take away 4t is going to be t. So that's just going to go to a t there in the numerator. And plus 12 take away 12 cancels out. So I end up with t over t add 3 times by 2t add 1 there. And that is our final answer. Perfect. Well, I think that's enough for the first introduction in terms of simplifying algebraic fractions. On the next video in this series, I'm going to do some solving of algebraic fractions. So I hope you're finding these videos helpful. Remember, if you are finding them useful, if you could like and subscribe to the channel, then that's going to help me keep on making more videos to support you moving forward. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.